The Egyptian, though, really the only player willing to take on forehand topspins. Taipei player happy to just prod and poke. Very rarely will be adventurous and go for a forehand. Lin now, 2 points up. First time for a long time. Aggressive serve and then launched into a forehand attack. Down the line, winning the point straight away, but doesn't often use that tactic. He's trying to force errors out of his more volatile Egyptian opponent, who can play some wonderful shots but also make quite a few unforced errors. Taipei player really has hardly made a mistake in this fifth game. He's now just 4 points away.
2-8. Yes, right, okay, try.
Okay, they've changed the ball now. Taipei players still 4 points up.
9-4.
A lot of noise in the crowd for the French player who's just finished. It's all looking good for the Chinese Taipei player. Now 10-4 up. He's steadied his ship, kept the ball on the table.
11-4. Game in match. Lin 3-2.
So that's a final game victory, 11-4 for Lin, Chinese Taipei. It's Alison Brose signing off.
Ping pong at its very best here at the XL. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome the players and officials for the men's and women's singles group stage matches at the London 2012 Paralympic Games.
commit an infringement by going direct to the leg without an initial attack. Probably a good idea. And now a shimiwaza attempt here from Takahashi. The referee's in a good position to see that, and the Belarusian Kaslov has had to tap out. Well, he really did have some spectacular entries into that flying Judo Gatami. We'll miss not seeing that. That's a win for Takahashi in the under 73 kilo category. That was a great contest. Takahashi and Kaslov. It wasn't the opening contest, as I say, we had one earlier on, but that certainly raised the temperature in here a little bit. So spectacular. And there's the Uchimata. Masaru was the score given. Beautiful entry. Just couldn't get the finish. Flat on his back. Meanwhile, on mat number 2 in the under 81 kilo category, that contest is a little over a minute. Well, sorry, with 4 minutes left to go. It's just 1 minute gone. Powell and Krieger, and there's no score. Powell has however picked up a passivity warning. So fairly even. Turkey just being escorted to his position on the mat. And Sebastian Jung of Germany. It's O'Neill in the white judogi, Jung in blue. And there's Marie-Lise Clément to take control of this one. Powell, by the way, Dan Powell of Great Britain on mat number 2 in the under 81 kilo category. He's picked up a second warning. He's been penalised now, and he trails by one Yuko Krieger of Germany in the lead with 3:37 on the clock. No need to panic over there. Take his time and work things out. But here on mat number 1, O'Neill and Jung have just started their contest. This is the third of the matches in the under 73 kilo category. Powell, by the way, has gone further behind. Uchimata attempt from Krieger coming up with a score. So 2 Yukos now, the lead for Krieger on Powell. We're underway again in the under 73 kilo category with O'Neill and Jung. And Jung with a nice strong grip. He's got his left arm quite high up on the collar. Uchimata throws, and Wazari over goes O'Neill, not quite flat on his back. And now Jung working in Nivaza, attempting the Jujigatami, sits up and puts both legs across his opponent's body, trying to pull on that right arm. Doesn't come off, and he moves away. And then O'Neill in turn tries to work something on the ground, but there's not much happening there, and the referee Clément decides to call mate, stands them up, and then brings them back to their start position. Good left-sided Uchimata score from Sebastian Jung, and scores Yuko, so he leads at the moment. 2 minutes and 56 seconds remaining in the under 81 kilo category contest on mat number 2. Dan Powell and Krieger of Germany. 2 Yukos the lead to Krieger with 2:56 to go. Jung on mat 1, looking again for an opening to bring off a scoring technique, but it's the Turk O'Neill who uses the speed and momentum of the pair as they move across the mat, going from my right to left, and that built up a bit of speed and put a Yuko on the board for O'Neill, but they've given a Wazari for the earlier throw to Jung. Well, Jung leading here by Wazari, and on mat number 2 it's Krieger leading by Wazari. So 2 Germans on the mat, one on mat 1, one on mat 2, and they both lead by Wazari at the moment. I'd say, not sure whether it's a precarious position, because Powell is not out of it. When you look at the amount of time that's left on the clock, 2 minutes and 21 seconds. There's plenty of time for something to happen. And there's 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the contest on mat number 1. And let's see what happens with O'Neill and Jung. That was it, Pon. O'Neill managing to take his opponent over right-sided. As I say, there's this time looks as though he strained his right knee. Jung looks in some degree of discomfort. Tani Otoshi, I think it was. No, it wasn't actually. Just that was his attempt at Yoko Sutemiwaza earlier on. Well, they're giving some treatment to the possible knee injury of Jung. Let's hope it's nothing too serious. And Krieger has just thrown Powell with Uchimata for Ippon. That was on mat number 2. Krieger having built up a bit of a lead. Then came generous applause. Both fighters were really going at it. Krieger, the German, coming out the winner. Nice to see that Sebastian Jung is up and on his feet, and he walks off under his own steam. So that's always a good thing. No one wants to see anyone injured. So pleased to report that Sebastian Jung is leaving without the aid of a coach. Well, he's managed to find his way off the mat. They really need to take him to an area where he can get some treatment for that knee. The next 2 fighters are on their way and into the arena. The scoreboard is still flashing O'Neill as the winner, but we are now going to see Bricheno of Venezuela and Khalilov Sharif of Uzbekistan. I didn't see any Uzbeks fighting yesterday. They may very well have been on, but I don't remember seeing them. Those are that's the stadium announcer just saying who's coming on to mat number 2. Shevchenko of Russia faces Kato of Japan. That's in the under 81 kilo category on mat number 2. Mat number 1 is the contest that we're going to be looking at. There's the Venezuelan. He comes up the ramp first, and then there's the Uzbek fighter Mauricio Briceno of Venezuela prepares to take to the mat. And there is the Uzbek fighter. Sharif Khalilov of Uzbekistan. That's Sensei Oyama leading on Khalilov. Bruno Wanderlei Mesquita is the referee in the middle from Brazil. So the two fighters are brought to the middle. The referee will make sure that they take good posture, and then a grip that is not advantageous one way or the other, and then he'll call hajime. If you've not seen visually impaired judo, had no experience of that, that's the way that the contest gets underway. The Venezuelan attempts Yoko Tomonagi, but that doesn't come off. And then the referee calls mate, stands them back up and brings them to the middle where they stand face to face. The posture is set by the referee, then the grip is taken and both fighters get back underway. They move towards the far left corner of the mat, and the Uzbek tries a drop seanegi, but it doesn't come off. Briceno defended that well. Geno tries the Sutemi Waza, throwing himself first and then trying to throw his opponent. I think for a moment the referee may have called an ippon, giving that to the fighter from Uzbekistan, but there was nothing of his technique in it. That was an attempted Sutemi Waza. So a minor slip there from the Brazilian mat official. But nevertheless, the fighters move on. There's a Wazari lead already for Khalilov, with a little over a minute of the contest gone. This is the under 73 kilo category. Tomonagi attempted there from Briceno, but Khalilov manages to slip off that, and there's no score. The contest between Shevchenko and Kato on mat 2 continues. 3:46 left to go in that contest, and there's no score between the Russian Shevchenko in the white judogi and Kato of Japan in blue. And there's a second scoring technique from Khalilov, this time as he throws Briceno for ippon. Managed to come up with two really good scoring techniques, did Khalilov. First one scored Wazari, the second scored ippon. And there's a bow and then a hug and a handshake between the two fighters, and then their escorts come to take them off the mat. Osodagari was the winning technique. Actually, Osotogari was the score for Wazari. Tomoinagi was the winning scoring technique. Throwing for Ippon. Beautifully done by Khalilov of Uzbekistan. Well, we've got the quarter-finals of Argentina. That's the quarter-final lineup in the men's under 73 kilo category. We're now ready to get underway with the opening round in the women's under 57 kilo category. The athletes are just making their way into the arena now and coming round and on and up that specially prepared ramp that I've mentioned. No need to negotiate stairs. It's the Japanese athlete who is led up first. Yoneda will be in white, and Cheta of Turkey. Yoneda Mayumi. And there's her Turkish opponent, Duygu Çete of Turkey. Emilio Lezana is the referee in the middle. I didn't even know that he had Garcia at the end of his name. Well, the two fighters are brought together. They'll take their grips, and then the referee will call Hajime. That's really the biggest difference between sighted and visually impaired judo. They take a grip first, and then Hajime is called, and the referee is the one who's in control of how that grip is taken. Cheta is the first to attack there with a right-sided Harai-goshi, but it doesn't come off, and she collapses under the weight of Yoneda's defense, and they go to the ground where Yoneda begins to work her in nearbaza, attempting to lift her opponent up and then put a knee in to try and hook around one of the armpits and secure a turnover. It hasn't happened yet. Cheta's defense appears pretty strong. There goes Yoneda again with that setup, looking for a Sangaku turnover, but it's not there. The referee calls mate, stands them back up, and they come into the middle. Shevchenko, by the way, on mat number 2, has taken the lead, with Yuko Kato of Japan having been penalized. So 2:28 left to go on mat number 2, and Shevchenko it is who leads by Yuko. Mat number 1, Yoneda and Cheta. That's only 50 seconds old, so there's no score there as yet. Yoneda in the white judogi and Cheta in blue. Cheta looking to go right-sided. She tried a makikomi earlier on, and she tries again, and this time she scores Ippon. Cheta throws Yoneda for Ippon with a big makikomi. And this is in the opening round of the under 57 kilo category. Well, Yoneda went over quite heavily, but she's back up on her feet now, and the fighters go to the middle. They bow, and now the corner judges, who also act as escorts on and off the mat, lead their respective charges off. The Japanese coach's face there, he can't believe it. But actually she'd shown that a little bit early on. That attempted Makikomi. It looked pretty strong. And then she came up the second time. She was able to bring that off. So a win for Cheta of Turkey. She goes. Pair of fighters is making their way up the ramp. The first of these is Marion Kouadou of France. Should be followed on by Sultanova of Azerbaijan. That's the next contest in the under 57 kilo category on mat number 1. Still a Yuko lead for Shevchenko over Kato on mat number 2 in the under 81 kilo category. That one has been going for quite some time now. There's just a minute left, and it's the Russian Shevchenko leading by Yuko. Mr. Oyama is going to take control of this contest. Making sure that the fighters are positioned correctly and that they take proper kumikata, proper grip. And now that the grip is to the referee's satisfaction, they get underway. Kouadou in the white judogi, Sultanova in blue, and a beautiful technique there. Morote Seanagi, she may have hurt her wrist in the process. That was Sultanova throwing Kouadou of France. Beautifully executed technique from the Azeri there. Morote Seanagi was the winning technique. Very, very neatly and quickly done, all within the first 15 seconds there. Front of her. The Turkish girl faces the Azeri in the next round, and now into the arena comes Cynthia Page Simon of the United States of America. Her Spanish opponent comes in behind her. Meranciano Herrero of Spain. And as is the process, they need to come up the ramp. Heidi Moore, I think it is. I think that's the coach that's bringing the American up, and that's there's Cynthia Page Simon. And there's Monica Meranciano Herrero of Spain. Well, the fighters are on the mat now. They've been brought to the middle by the two corner judges who act as escorts. They then take their seats. The two corner judges take their seats, one in the corner opposite each other, and the fighters are left in charge of the referee in the center of the mat, who then indicates to them the stance that they should take and the grip that is appropriate, and then calls the Jimmy. Ippon Seanagi is attempted there by Meranciano Herrera of Spain, but it's blocked by Simon of the United States of America, and they enter into Nivaza, where Simon attacks without being able to open up the Spaniard, and they stand back up. The referee stands them back up. And another attempt there, this time Makikomi from the Spaniard. She scores Yuko and then moves into a left-sided Kezagatame, holding the American, who's trying desperately to try and shift off her back and break the hold, but it looks quite tight. And now Katagatame from the American it is. And the full 25 seconds is achieved, and Simon unfortunately not able to get out of that hold in time, and it's the Spaniard Monica Meranciano Herrero who wins that contest. Left-sided Makikomi bringing down her opponent, and then managing to push back and work her way into the Katagatame, which was the winning hold. Shevchenko was the winner over Kato on mat number 2 in the under 81 kilo category. And the next match there on mat 2 is Simsilia of Turkey. He faces Mir Hassan. We've gone to the second round contests in the under 73 kilo category. Powell had a bye in the first round, and now Powell faces Dimitru Solovey of the Ukraine, who threw Ali Shanani of Iran for Ippon in his opening contest. So Powell had a bye. Solovey had an Ippon win in his first contest. So here is a contest now between Powell of Great Britain in the white judogi and Solovey of the Ukraine in blue. We're underway with a huge cheer for the British fighter. The Ukrainian looks busy, and he gets straight into the action. Mark's brother Dan has already fought in the under 81 kilo category. He lost his opening match, but we'll see him in the repechage. The referee has both fighters in the middle of the mat, just making sure that they have the right stance and then the right grip, and he'll call Hajime, and the contest will get underway. He just wants to make sure that they're close enough to each other and no one has an advantage. Powell now looking for a different a grip, one that he's more comfortable with. Wants to go right side. It looks like a busy fighter, but that was a beautiful Sode Tsuri Komigoshi from Solove. I just need to change the scoreboard because that's actually Wazari, and now they have done. So Wazari on the board after that very, very quick scoring technique from Solove. Solove throwing Powell for Wazari, and he throws him again. I'm not sure if they are going to score that one. That's Yuka. That was with first of all an attempted Seoinage and then changed direction and threw him with Osodagari. So he's on the board with 2 scores now, Yuko and Wazari, and it's going to be a big job for Powell to come back from this. He's got plenty of time. He can take his time. Obviously he'll want to finish it as quickly as possible, and so will Solove. They're up on their feet, they're in the middle of the mat, and the referee's just making sure after that last action where there is no score that they've got the right grip. And a nice attempted Diashibarai by Solove brings Powell down onto his front. Can't turn him onto his back for a score with the throw, but he's got him now in an arm lock, and he's going to have to tap out from there. Jujigatame from Solove, and Solove had too many weapons for him. He was a little bit too quick, a little bit probably too experienced at this. I'd imagine that Mark Powell must be reasonably new to this kind of high level of competition, because that was quite a good win and quite comprehensive from Dmytro Solove of the Ukraine. Marote Seoinage was the initial scoring throw for Wazari, and then caught Powell with an Ashiwaza, which brought them to the ground and gave Solove the chance to work his Jujigatame, and Powell had to submit. No score between Simsilia and the Iranian, who leads on mat 2 in the under 81 kilo category. Next up on mat number 1 in the under 73 kilo category, there is Takahashi, and he faces Avila Sanchez of Mexico. Takahashi Hidekatsu, who was the conqueror of Kozlov of Belarus in the first round, a Belarusian with those flying Jujigatame attempts. Spectacular. Takahashi now looking to attack his opponent, Avila, in near-waza, but Avila looks as though he's got a reasonable defense, and he can't get past that, so the referee stands them up, and they'll get back underway once the grip is established. On mat number 2, Mir Hassan of Iran has just defeated Simtila of Turkey. Rosari Awazeti. I'm not sure what the scoring technique was there, I'm afraid. I can't tell you that, but it's a win for Mir Hassan of Iran. He goes into the quarterfinal. He'll face Efron of Argentina in the last of the quarterfinals in that category. Well, we saw some nice attacks from Takahashi in his first contest. He got a nice right-sided Uchimata and right-sided Ojigari, so I wonder if we'll see that against Avila. But it's Avila who attacks their right-sided Haraigoshi, but it's not strong enough to catch the Japanese on this occasion. Fighters now with a grip in the middle, looking for an opening. There's 3 minutes and 50 odd seconds left to go. Takahashi just taps Avila's right foot with a Kojigari and steps away, and then Avila drops to attempt a Marotti Seonagi, but it's ineffective, and the referee calls mate and stands both fighters up. And it's Takahashi who picks up the passivity warning given to him by the referee. Avila leading by Yuko with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Misses with the big right-sided Uchimata attempt, does Takahashi. Really threw himself at that one, but couldn't come up with a score. Takahashi goes left-sided for the first time with that drop Seonagi. We haven't seen that before. So, having thrown right-sided on a couple of occasions and attacked Avila always on the right, he just put that left-sided attempt in. The under 63 kilo category is about to get underway on mat number 2. The opening contest is Pernheim of Sweden and Arce Peno of Spain. Yuko is the lead to Avila. As he attempts to get a grip that he's comfortable with and then launch an attack, which he does there. That attempted Haraigoshi, but it didn't come off, and now the Japanese Takahashi has a chance to attack his Mexican opponent in nearby and trying to apply the shimiwaza. Avila rolls off to his left to try and make some space in between him and his opponent, trying to avoid getting caught on the ground. And now Takahashi trying to work on the arm, but there's nothing there, and the referee calls mate and stands them back up. Pernheim and Arce Peno of Spain are a minute into their contest, and it's the Spaniard who leads by a yuko at the moment. Minute 41 left in this contest. Yeah, Uchimata attempted there right-sided by Takahashi. It doesn't come off, and he's thrown already really nicely early on today. He's looking for another score here. One yuko the lead at the moment to Avila of Mexico. He looks to go for the Osotogari there, but decides against it. The referee calls mate, brings them to the middle, and decides that she'd like to see them with a proper grip. So they grip up and they start again with a minute 14 left on the clock. Arce Peno has gone further ahead now with Wazari on the board against Pernheim of Sweden. There's a minute and 6 seconds left in the contest between Takahashi and Avila, and still it's Avila who leads. Takahashi trying to open him up and then tries the Osotogari, but he's slightly off balance, and he couldn't make it tell. And then Avila was able to avoid that. They're back up on their feet and in the middle again with a good grip. Takahashi still looking positive, looking to throw. Avila again with the right-sided Tayatoshi, and he scores yuko now. So 2 yukos the lead, and there's only 30-odd seconds left to go. So time running out now for Takahashi Hidekazu of Japan. Really needs to get something on the board here. He's had some good Uchimata attacks, but unfortunately hasn't been able to put anything on the board, and all his groundwork has been to no avail. 21 seconds left to go. Avila looks like a well-conditioned athlete, proving difficult for Takahashi to get past his defense. And again, Takahashi goes left-sided, attempting to throw his opponent over his left shoulder. And that doesn't come off. Well, time has run out for Takahashi, and unfortunately for the Japanese, it's Avila of Mexico who comes out the winner there. He was a little bit cleverer, the Mexican. He used the clock well. He got the scores at the right time, and Takahashi did pick up that one penalty as well, which meant that he was always playing catch-up. That in the end will fight Solove of the Ukraine, in the first of the semi-finals. Coming into the arena now, and next up on mat number 1, it'll be Onel of Turkey, and he faces Kurbanov of Russia. And on mat 2, Soazo Naomi of Venezuela faces Rodriguez of Cuba. That's in the under 63 kilo category for women. That's Onel, who we saw throwing Sebastian Jung earlier on this morning. His opponent just taking to the mat. Now there is Onel, Halil Ibrahim Onel, defeated Sebastian Jung in the first round. And there is Russian opponent Shakhban Kurbanov of Russia in the blue judogi. The referee brings both fighters together and prepares them now with posture and then a grip. And once he's happy, he calls a jimmy, and he's done that now, so we're underway. Onel looked dangerous against Jung. Looks as though he had some nice throwing skills. Not quite sure what the throwing skills of Kurbanov are like, but he moves nicely, shapes well. Both fighters moving across the mat with a good degree of fluency, and there's always danger when you see that, because that means that there's a degree of comfort. And when they get that comfortable, then there's bound to be something explosive in the offing. Kurbanov does look particularly at ease here. Just see the way that he's setting things up. And Onel was lucky to get off that Tomoe-nage. He gets off a second one. Not sure whether he'd have scored with that one, because he was already on his back from the first one. So Kurbanov looks as though he's got a little bit about him. And Onel's going to have to watch himself here, because Kurbanov looks like a bit of a boy. No score in the contest between Soazo Naomi of Venezuela and Rodriguez of Cuba in the under 63 kilo category on mat 2. And well, the initial score on mat number 2 was Ippon, but it's been downgraded to Wazari, so the coach has to take his seat again. Beautiful ashiwaza there for Ippon. Kosodagari from Kurbanov, throwing Onel for Ippon. There's a great deal of screaming and excitement taking place behind our commentary position, and that's from the Venezuelan supporters of Soazo Naomi. There's quite a lot of noise, screaming and shouting here. Kosodagari, I think it was. Yeah, there it is. Beautifully done. he just showed every sign of having that kind of awareness about him. Took nice control over it. And I'm not sure what the Turkish coach wasn't. Well, you're not going to be happy when your man gets thrown for Ippon, are you? But can be no complaints about that. Leave the mat. O'Neill goes into the repechage. Kurbanov goes into the semi-final. The next pair of fighters make their way to the mat now, and this is the last of the quarterfinals in the under 73 kilo category. Sharif Khalilov of Uzbekistan faces Rodolfo Ramirez of Argentina. That's Khalilov making his way up the ramp. Two fighters now, just coming to the middle of the mat. Mr. Oyama is the referee for this particular contest. It'll be Khalilov in the white judogi and Ramirez in the blue judogi. On mat number 2, both fighters have Wazari. Soato, Naomi of Venezuela, and Rodriguez tied up at a Wazari apiece with 2:59 left on the clock. Well, Khalilov and Ramirez are now underway. And the referee has them at the moment. In the middle of the mat, trying to make sure that they take a good grip and that the posture is right before he calls Hajime. It's a little bit difficult at the moment with just so much noise from the Venezuelan supporters behind our commentary position. They're almost right on top of us, and there is an incredible amount of noise as they scream their support for Soatsu Naomi, who's competing on mat number 2, and there's still 2 minutes and 21 seconds of that contest left, so I think we're going to have to deal with that for a little bit longer. In any event, we've got Khalilov and Ramirez battling away on mat 1, and a good point has just been made. She may lose her voice in a minute, the loudest of the supporters. Give us a little bit of quiet back in the arena. It's been a little bit subdued with some of the contests, but they've been quite a number of Ippons, so they've been rolling over pretty quickly. There's an attempted shimiwaza, a nice roll here from Khalilov. Got to be careful, and there it was. Couldn't get off it. The Argentinian Ramirez, and a nice, neat roll from Khalilov. What a match that's going to be between Khalilov and Kurbanov. That's going to be the match of the tournament. Khalilov and Kurbanov. Oh, the mat officials are going to chat with each other now. There's the Shimiwaza going on nice and tight. Here comes the hand for the tap, and he had to tap out. He held it for as long as he could, attempting to resist that Shimiwaza, but in the end, Sharif Khalilov came up the winner. It's a Wazari apiece. 2 minutes 18 seconds left to go on mat number 2 in the under 63 kilo category. Update quickly on what's happening on mat number 2. Still a Wazari apiece. Just a little over 2 minutes left to go. Soazo of Venezuela and Rodriguez of Cuba. Naomi Soazo of Venezuela led by Wazari earlier on before the Cuban Rodriguez came back with her own score. And now a big hand for Mark Powell of Great Britain as he takes on Ali Shanani of Iran. Ali Shanani in the white judogi, Mark Powell in blue. Lots of cheers from the British supporters in the crowd for the home fighter, Mark Powell. And now the Cuban Rodriguez has just thrown Naomi Soazo for Ippon on mat 2. There's a small delay whilst the referees decide to check the judogi. The Sokuteki device has just been brought out onto mat number 1. I don't think this is going to pass. It's not going to pass the Sokuteki. It's going to be too short. They're now debating on whether or not the judogi top that's being worn by the Iranian Ali Shanani is in accordance with the rules. The judogi that the fighters wear must fit correctly, and if it's too short, then it gives an unfair advantage to the person wearing it, and that would mean that Powell would be at a disadvantage. Now, under IJF rules, that's the governing body for the sport, the International Judo Federation, that would result in the player being disqualified. I'm not sure whether what they're going to do is to rule here that he needs to change the judogi into another. And if that's the case, then that's a slight relaxation of the rule for this particular competition. Powell it is who will have to remain in and around the area, but he'll be led off the mat so that he doesn't have to stand there. But obviously here they're going to, it would appear that they're going to allow the Iranian to change his judogi. Well, as I say, the governing body for visually impaired Judo, and this comes under the heading of IBSA, may have their own interpretation or a slightly more relaxed way of approaching the rule with regard to judogi, and that would just simply mean that the Iranian would have to go and change into a gi that meets the requirements. I think there'll be a few people who would say that a strict application would be that he has to be given hansokumake, which is to be disqualified. So there may be some debate about that. In the meantime, we'll wait for the next pair of fighters to take to the mat. It'll probably be Ali Shanani and Mark Powell again, but I suppose that's going to be a little bit of a talking point as to why it is that, having had his judogi checked and it conformed with the rules, in between where the judogi was checked, just past the warm-up area of the athletes, and then into the arena, how it is that it came to be not in accordance with the rules. But it clearly wasn't when Ali Shanani came onto the mat in readiness for his contest. That gi, that judo suit, the top that he was wearing was too small, and that would have restricted Powell's ability to take hold and to carry out his techniques, and for that reason they always insist that the gi is of a particular size. Well, Ali Shanani is coming into the arena. You can see, those of you that remember the gi that he was wearing, quite clearly that this is a bigger a bigger judo top, a bigger judogi top, and he's coming onto the mat now, or his coach is helping him back up and onto the competition area, and we'll get underway. The top that he's wearing is one of a number of tops that the organisers will set aside for fighters to change into in the event that they get blood on one of the gis. That's what those judogi are there for, not for if you come with an ill-fitting judogi. You should come with the right gi, and it should conform with the rules. Ali Shanani's did not, and for whatever reason they've decided to waive the application of the strict rule regarding judogi and just ask him to replace it. In a way, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Powell wants a fight. He doesn't want a walkover. But what you want to do is to fight an opponent who's given you a fair chance. And now that he's got a better fitting gi, there is a better chance. Should have come with it in the first place, however. Anyway, that point has now been done and dusted. We've moved on. 5 seconds have gone in the first exchange, and we're underway with the repechage contest between Powell of Great Britain in the blue judogi and Ali Shanani of Iran in white. Referee just making sure that they've got good stance, good postures taken up, good grip, and then he calls the jimmy. Ali Shanani breaks the grip immediately, and he's likely to pick up a warning here for breaking the grip. We may let this one go. He stopped them after Ali Shanani broke the grip. He's brought them back to the middle. He's going to get them underway again. And I think once that happens, if he continues to break the grip up, then I think he'll pick up a penalty. Joe Tong of China on mat number 2 is the winner in the under 63 kilo category. She's just won her contest against Kostegoglu of Turkey. That's a first round match there. And now the Iranian picks up a warning for continually breaking away from the grip, as I mentioned earlier on. Once you've taken the grip, the referees don't like to see you continually breaking it up and taking something else. Got a grip, need to get on with it. Big support for Mark Powell in this tough contest. He's got some nice movement here from Ali Shanani. And this time he is penalised. He's constantly breaking the grip up. The whole purpose of putting them together and taking a grip is that you then work from there. And he hasn't done that. So he's picked up a penalty. Powell now leads by a Yuko. There's a cross grip, which means that Ali Shanani has to attack right away. Powell was circling round to the right, which made it difficult to do that. So not going to get penalised there. And now Ali Shanani with a chance to attack in Nivaza, which he does, but Powell's defence is reasonably tight, and Ali Shanani can't get past that. The referee calls Mate, stands them up and brings them back to the centre again, where the two fighters stand face to face, close enough to take a grip, nice and upright, so that neither fighter has an advantage. And then when the referee decides that both fighters have got a grip, well, Ali Shanani is being penalised here because he refuses to take a grip. The referee indicates where he wants him to take a grip and when. Now he doesn't do it, and when he does, it's in the wrong place. And then when he does call a jimmy, he immediately breaks that grip up, which he does there again. And this is what they don't want to see. So he's treading on a really thin ice here, because he's already been penalised 3 times, one more, and he's going to gift the contest to Powell. And all of this has happened in the first minute. The board is lit up with yellow cards, most of them against the name of the Iranian, who's unfortunately just been a little bit careless in the way that he's actually been failing to take a grip. So he's going to need to take real care with the rest of this contest, or else he'll be disqualified. Cruz Alonso on mat number 2, and Kosinov of the Ukraine are now underway. There's no score in that contest yet. That's a good attack there, and it started in from Ali Shanani. That's a good attack, Ojigari, and that levels things up for Wazaria piece. Ojigari, right-sided, bringing Powell down almost flat on his back. He hopped that one through, and Wazari goes on the board. So the scores are level now, 3:46 to go. The difficulty for Ali Shanani is that he can only commit, well, he can't commit another error, and in 3:46, having committed 3 already, you'd put money on it that he's going to make another error. The referee calls a jimmy, they get underway, and now they move towards the right side of the map where Powell tries a Setemiwaza. That's where he throws himself first before trying to throw his opponent, the sacrifice technique that's referred to. And now Ali Shanani trying to work something on the ground. Powell's got to be careful to turn the right way into this and then out of danger. That was a good position for Powell to take up there. If he tried to turn off to his left, that would have given Ali Shanani a better chance. He turned into his man, and on this occasion that was the right way to turn, and he managed to escape from that hole. 3:19 left on the clock. This is the first of the repechage contest in the under 73 kilo category. Ali Shanani of Iran and Mark Powell of Great Britain. Powell now with a better grip here, more upright, almost got countered though, and needed to just be a little bit quicker into that attack and take advantage of the fact that he had the upper hand, and he actually did have the upper hand. His right hand was up high on the collar of the Iranian, and just as he was looking to shape for an attack, Ali Shanani managed to stand upright a little bit better and avoid getting caught in the Powell attack. They stand close together again, and the referee indicates that the stance is good and the grip is good, and then calls Hashemi or start, and the Powell almost walking onto that. He does, just when you thought that he might get off it. Ali Shanani comes up with a good drop Ippon Seoinage and throws Mark Powell for Ippon. Well, a spirited effort there from the British youngster, and every occasion that Ali Shanani got to show us his judo skills, they were good enough. It's unfortunate that he had a few errors there, just a little bit untidy in some of his tactical play, and I'm not referring at all to the issue with the kit. That's over now, but there are a few things there with his timing and a little bit about the gripping that he needs to tidy up on. Apart from that, he showed some beautiful judo, and two really nice scores were what did for it in the end. The penalties, unfortunately, were the downside. Can't fault that. Flat on his back, really, really nice Ippon Seoinage. That was a good score. Two nice judo scores in the end, and that was what separated Powell from Ali Shanani in the end. The corner judges lead the fighters off, and then the coaches take over and bring them down the ramp. Really nice point of view. They were sat immediately behind us, and it was quite a vocal group. There's another big group of them, of Venezuelan supporters, in the middle of the main block of seats, waving blue and yellow flags. They could be mistaken for supporting the Ukraine, because there's another group of people sitting with blue and yellow flags off to their left, our right, as I look at them. But, and we can only see the blue and yellow because the red in the Venezuelan flag is hidden under the seats immediately in front of them. And the two fighters are ready to go now. Briceno and Ramirez, an all South American matchup. They've come all this way across the ocean only to meet each other here at the Excel Arena. And Mesquita is the referee taking control of this one. 5 minutes on the clock. Maurizio Briceno and Rodolfo Ramirez. It's Briceno of Venezuela in the white judogi and Ramirez of Argentina in blue. We're about to get underway with this repechage contest in the under 73 kilo category. And the first to attack is the Venezuelan Briceno. He tries to go left-sided with that Sutemiwaza sacrifice throw, side sacrifice throw, Yoko Sutemiwaza. It doesn't come off, and the Argentinian moves round to his right to avoid getting caught. And then the referee calls mate or stop, and then stands them up and brings them back into the middle of the mat, where they take a grip and then move off to the far side of the mat as they jockey for position. And this time it's the Venezuelan who puts in a drop Serenagi attempt, and he scores Yuko, coming up with the first score in the contest. The referee calls mate and stands both fighters up and leads the Venezuelan back to the start point. Nice neat technique there, Ippon Serenagi from Briceno, the Venezuelan, the Argentinian, eventually ending up on his front but landing first on his right side as he went over, and that was the scoring area of the body. Venezuelan attempts another sacrifice throw, but this time it's a poor effort, and he needs to defend now on the ground. He's on his back with the Argentinian Ramirez bearing down on him between his legs, and the Venezuelan attempting to keep him as far away as possible and avoid getting caught in a hold, an arm lock, or a strangle. Didn't look as though either of those, or any of those, beg your pardon, were going to happen, so the referee calls mate and stands both the fighters up. Scoreboard shows a Yuko lead to Briceno over Ramirez, and when the hold is to the referee's satisfaction, standing up, you'll call Jime, which he does now, and they get back underway. They move over to the far left corner of the mat, and briefly the Venezuelan is on the red danger area when the referee will shout jogai to the competitors to warn them that they are on the edge, and then they come back in, trying to use the full 8 meters of the yellow contest area that makes up the middle of the mat. The outside meter all the way round is red, so it's a 10-meter contest area, and as soon as they move over towards the red area, the referee calls jogai, or a warning, so that they know that they are close to the edge. The Venezuelan comes up again with another shoulder throw attack. This time he doesn't manage to get his Argentinian opponent onto his back, just the side, and as a result of only coming down on the side, Yuko goes on the board. Not the big score that he was looking for, but he increases his lead, and he leads now by 2 Yukos with 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the board. One of the corner judges in the near left corner is signalling that he didn't think that it was a Yuko, and nor did the refereeing commissioner, who also signals that that's not a score, so they take that one off, and now just the 1 Yuko remaining. That's the lead over Ramirez that Briceno has. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in that contest. Just enough time to tell you that time's running out on mat number 2 for Cruz Alonso. Kozinov leads there by Wazari, and now there is another Yuko to Briceno. Just as we wipe that one off, they find a way of putting it back on, much to the Venezuelan's delight, as the Argentinian begins to complain, but it's all of no avail, because he eventually arm locks his opponent in any case, and that brings the contest to an end. I think it was an arm lock, because there's a 7-second, there's a little 7 down in the bottom right hand corner of the scoreboard, which would indicate that Osai Komi had been called, and it could be that Ramirez tapped out and submitted, or it could be that Briceno had applied some kind of arm lock. We'll find out in a second, because there'll be a replay from our replay team, and they'll show you that on the screen. Both fighters bow once the referee has indicated the winner, which was Briceno of Venezuela. Here's the Ippon Seoinage that scored Yuko, and that went onto the board to give a 2 Yuko lead to Briceno. He then rolls his opponent over, hooks his right leg in, rolls his opponent over towards his right side, and applies Sangaku Gatame, traps the leg there and tightens it up. The referee will point at the fighters with his hand to show that that is an immobilized. The top right hand corner, you can see the referee pointing with his hand to immobilize, and here comes the little tap with the right hand. I think you'll see with the blue judogi, he just decides, okay, that's enough, pal. A little bit of a squeeze there to so those are the repechage contests. Maurizio Briceno over Rodolfo Ramirez by Ippon Sangaku Jimmy. That was the winning technique. Well, the next contest on mat number 2 is the quarter-final between Pereira of Brazil and Krieger of Germany. We're awaiting, I'm not quite sure if we're waiting for anything else on mat number 1, so hopefully you can get a picture of what's happening on mat number 2. I do hope that they've got a camera that can show mat number 2, and failing that, then you're going to be left with commentary only, and I hope that will suffice for you, and I can paint a picture of exactly what's happening on mat number 2. The 2 athletes are being led to their start positions by the corner judges, whose secondary role is to act as escorts for the 2 fighters before they get underway. The corner judges will then take their seats, but for the time being they're acting as escorts. The 2 fighters led to the middle of the mat. They are given to the charge now of the referee in the middle, who asks for them to bow by saying Ray. And once they've carried out the formal Ray, that was lovely and friendly, even a nice handshake before the beginning of the contest, and a smile. Both fighters take a hold, they take a stance that's not advantageous one way or the other, and then the referee calls mate, and they hajime, beg your pardon, and they get underway with the first of the quarterfinals, and it's Krieger who's attacking left-sided on the close to us and almost coming into the scoreboard. Referee are calling out jogai, or take care, as close to the edge of the mat, but both fighters nevertheless wander off, and then he calls mate and brings them back to the center where they are. Take hold, proper kumikata is restored, and then make sure that they are standing close enough together with no advantage to either fighter before calling hajime, and we get back underway. They immediately move towards the near left side of the tatami, and now they're near center, and Krieger attacking left-sided is a little bit overstretched, and he overextended himself too far with that left leg, and the Brazilian Pereira almost countered him. 4.5 minutes left on the clock, so the opening half a minute, a minor bit of action there when Krieger attempted that throw, just overextended himself a little and almost countered. They're back in the middle, standing nice and upright, and the referee calls hajime, and they get back underway. Krieger it is who moves forward, but the makikomi from Pereira is a strong one, and he throws his German opponent for Wazari. Now they're on the ground, and the referee calls osai komi, but it's a little bit too quick, and Krieger manages to get both legs wrapped around his opponent's leg, and the referee has to call toketa, or broken. The hold is broken, so only momentarily was Pereira holding Krieger. Krieger was sharp enough to bring that osai waza to an end, They stand back up, but it's Pereira who leads by Wazari after that Makikomi score. And we've got 3 minutes and 58 seconds left on the clock. The referee brings them back to the middle of the competition area, and they stand toe to toe almost, and they take hold, and the referee calls Hajime, with Krieger looking menacing, moving off to his left and putting pressure on Pereira, who wanders out of the competition area without being under any real serious attack, but coming under some physical pressure as he wandered out of the area. But no one is caught or warned for going up. The referee brings them back to the middle, and then they stand again toe to toe. The referee calls Hajime, and we're back underway. Krieger, the more upright of the two, looking positive and looking for an attack. He's trying to shape for an Uchimata, and then comes up with a Kojigaki, but by that time both fighters had already moved towards us and in the middle, near side of the competition area and out. And the referee called Mate just as Krieger was about to begin his attack, which was off the competition area anyway, and there was no score. Both fighters landing up on the large green 5-meter wide safety area that surrounds a square of red 1 by 1 meter mats, within which there is another 8-meter by 8-meter yellow square contest area. So that's the setting, if you like. Krieger again looking positive as he tries to come forward. Uchimata is attempted left-sided by Pereira, and Krieger tries to come up with a Tegaruma as a counter, but that fails, and they land far enough outside of the competition area for the referee to call Mate and to wave them back in.
So moving on to heat number 2, and there's the start list. Jessica Long goes in 4 from the USA, a world record holder, defending champion, there she is.
Take your mark.
Summers using a track start technique. Very well away is Morgan Bird in lane 3 for Canada. Very smooth into the water, and she surfaced well, but now stroking into the lead. Jessica Long in lane number 4. So Long's going to turn first. 33.43. Not much separating second place. The lineup across the pool. Mailhot is in 1 for Canada. Panster's in 2 for the Netherlands. Bird in 3 for Canada. Long, of course, USA out in the lead in 4. Bro goes in 5 for the USA. So teammates next door to each other. Cabus goes in 6 for Germany. Lisa Denbraber in 7 for the Netherlands. Well, 10 metres clear already. At 100 metres, 68.35. Again, the 4 competitors closest to her, all in a line, nothing separating second place. They'll all need to challenge for a good time. It's not a case of coming second or third or even first in your heat. You've got to post a fast time, because it is the fastest 8 that go through. Very different to athletics. You could come second in a heat and actually not make the top 8. That is possible. Not in this case. I would think these 2 competitors coming into the turn there in lane 5 and 6, Bro and Cabus, are doing more than enough to qualify. Certainly this young lady is now. So there's the bunch, the chasing group as it were. Well, 22 metres clear. You literally would be in your own swimming pool if it stretched to 25 metres, 2 international standards, 1 Olympic-sized swimming pool across the summer, 50 metres long, and then the swimmers will be racing short course metres through the winter months, a 25-metre pool. And here's Jessica Long, almost into her own pool, some 25 metres clear now of the chasing pack. Quite incredible, sub 3 minutes there at 250 metres, 2:56.16. This is the third 100 metres. Cabus in second place for Germany. Morgan Bird in 3, turning, trying to chase her down. Cabus looking good, but not as good as this lady, Jessica Long, the world record holder, the defending champion. The third 100 complete, 3:32.49. Need to come back in 1:12. And that's not out of reach. It really isn't, so this is a very strong swim. The Paralympic record, 4:47.45. World record 4:44.17. Still in second place, Cabus, Julia Cabus from Germany. Here's the last turn of Jessica Long, 4:08.77. Got 39 seconds to get down this length for a new Paralympic record. It's going to be inside that for sure. 15 seconds away from what would be a new world record, but some 18 metres down the pool, so that's not on the cards. But a very good swim. It's just going to be outside, I think. Only just. Oh, very tight. The new Paralympic record, only just outside the world record. Didn't she make that look easy? Goodness gracious. Well, the look on her face there tells me that she'll swim well inside 4:40 come the final. Morgan Bird now into second place. Cabus was second pretty much all the way, but tight on the finish. Bird getting a touch for second there. Fourth in lane 2 was Romy Panssers from the Netherlands. Very cool, calm and collected Jessica Long. Sarah Mailhot coming in for Canada, up there in lane number 1. 5:36.85 her entry time. She will have wanted to have achieved a personal best. Well, it really was a clear demonstration of excellence by Jessica Long. Long arms reaching forwards, great finish at perfect arm's length. There is a new Paralympic record for Jessica Long. Long, Bird and Cabus. The 1, 2, 3. And that's the lineup. Long, Fredrickson and Elliott chasing down the medals. Rowe there in 8th place for the USA, qualified well. Men's 50 metres butterfly now, S7, heat number 1. And there's the lineup. These swimmers will be parading in from the left-hand side as we look at the picture on our TV screens. There will be a ready room there. Rong Tian, the world record holder, defending Paralympic champion, 30.37. Set that world record in Beijing. China having great representation here in the pool. First representation of the nation was back in 1984. But there's the crowds up to the rafters. Almost complete capacity this morning. Not many spare seats at all, which is always good to see. All the seating there around the poolside, of course, is for the competing nations and management, coaches and athletes. So we're starting down the opposite end of the pool. Of course, this is just one length. One length dash on butterfly, the second fastest of the 4 competitive strokes. So these gentlemen just in front of the podium, where if their dreams come true, they may well be receiving medals later on this evening. That's Bodejko there in lane 4 for the Ukraine. Well, I'm sure we all know his name by now. Not just from these games, but of course at the European Championships and World Championships 2 years ago, where he was a young name, the new kid on the block, and came storming through with awesome performances. 30.62 his entry time. So Bodejko, what can you do this morning in this heat number 1 of the men's 50 metres butterfly S7? Bodejko away well. Poltavsky goes in 2, Levy in 3, Bodejko in 4, Yang in 5, Lambach in 6. But look at this, gentlemen. Streak down the pool, lovely rhythm. Head going down and hips popping up, just like a dolphin cruising along the pool. Pulling away with every single stroke. Let's keep our eye on the clock. 30.37 is the world record. It's going to be very, very close. Oh my word! 4/100ths of a second shy of the world record. Perhaps if he kept his head down there for the last 2 or 3 strokes, it would have helped him storm inside the world record. But gosh, I'm sure that'll be broken tonight. A lifetime best performance for Bodejko. Yevgeny Bodejko from the Ukraine, breathing there, every stroke into the touch, which is unusual. Can be a little bit more streamlined and a little short, a little tight there on the touch as well. So if we spot that finish better come the final, head down for the last 2 strokes for sure, we'll see a new world record. Yevgeny Bodejko, great performance. Levy and Yang, 2nd and 3rd. Well, that will wake up heat number 2, and there's the start list. Shi Yunpan goes in 4 for China, next to his teammate Xingyang Wang. Matthew Walker for Great Britain goes in lane 3. Next door to him is Polap from Germany. Ajima in 6 for Japan. Perez Davila in 7 for Mexico. Well, a very quick start for Matthew Walker. He does like to get away well. A sprint freestyle specialist. He loves the 1-length sprint. But look at Pan go. Wang in 5, Wang in the lead. Pan trying to get back to him with that long-reaching, undulating stroke, hips popping up really high. Matthew Walker dying away and tightening up, but onto the touch there, very close, 32.25 for lane 5. Xingyang Wang from China comes home first. Matthew Walker looked very tight there inside the last 5 or 6 meters. Polap got away well with the quickest reaction off the starting blocks. Wang here. Shorter reach, of course, with the long arm of Pan, 1 lane up in 4. But he got there. Wang got there by just a few hundredths, 1700ths of a second, to take the winning spot of heat number 2. So there's the final. Bodejko, Levy and Xingyang Wang. It's tight on the bronze, always is. Those guys posting 32s across the board. But we shall see what Bordeko does in terms of the world record later on. So moving on to the women's 50 metres butterfly S7, heat number 1. Susanna Rogers goes in 4. There's a complete lineup, so she's the fastest qualifier on entry times for Great Britain. Raxco goes in 1, Mihane goes in 2, Tan in 3, Rogers in 4, Palian in 5, Shot goes in 6, Howarth in 7, and Susanna Rogers just checking the back plate there. And the setting of that. There's 5 settings on the starting blocks. And that angle plate there can't be too far forwards or too far back. Depends how tall you are. Depends how long your legs are. You've got to get that setting right, otherwise you can be very uncomfortable on the starting blocks. Well, let's look at who pops up first, and really nothing separating these swimmers, but perhaps at the top of the screen, Sarah Meehan from Canada. Rogers, the fastest on paper with 36.01, is now into the lead. Rogers, Tan, Meehan. Rogers here, Susan Rogers. Full body length clear now. In second place is Meehan, Sarah Meehan from Canada. No doubt about the winner there, 37.45. Reasonably quick, nothing lightningly quick, but a good swim. Susanna Rogers of Great Britain, the winner of heat number 1. And the crowd like that one. And a smile from this young lady. Wonderful glide time at speed underwater there, travelling at some 5 metres down the pool or more before she breaks out into her stroke. Hitting the water at around about 5-6 metres a second. And there's the finish. Head down, you see there, compared to Bordeko. We had his head up all the way down the final few metres. Rogers there demonstrating good technique, good profile, good head position and a good winning time. So moving on now to heat number 2. The world record holder will go. Min Huang in lane 5 for China. But Frenny right there. Jacqueline Frenny of Australia goes in 4. Now Frenny's entered 34.80. And Meehan Hang's world record 34.47. Min Huang entered 37.25. So this will be interesting. And they're away. Fred Bow in 1, Nielsen in 2, Yang in 3, Frenny in 4, Huang in 5, Almeida in 6, Graceva in 7. Going very, very well is Nelson. Brianna Nelson of Canada up there in lane number 2 ahead of Frenny. Frenny in second place for Australia. And third is Min Huang. Coming through now though, Jacqueline Frenny inside the final 5 metres. Fastest time so far, 36.03. The winner, Jacqueline Frenny from Australia. up very quickly into her stroke. One of the first swimmers to take a stroke. We do travel much faster underwater if we can stay in that streamline position, but came through very much after the 30-metre point. Lovely reach, perfect finish once again. And the head down as well to post 36.03 and a fast 36.87 for Nelson. Huang third in 37.73. And there's the lineup for this evening's final. Frenny, Nelson, Rogers, the 1, 2, 3, but Huang not too far away and will be challenging Rogers, Great Britain's Rogers, for a medal. That will be a tight race and a good one to watch.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for heat number 1 of the men's 50 meters freestyle S10.
So the next event up, heat number 1 of the men's 50 freestyle S10. So again, one length of the pool. Lots of sprint events here this morning from the Aquatic Centre. Andre Brazil of Brazil, the world record holder. He doesn't go until heat number 3. He'll be positioned in lane 4, but this heat number 1 right now. There's the Canadian. Nathan Stein from Canada. Isaac Buckley also from Canada. So Canadians, 2 competitors in this heat number 1. Buckley in lane 2, goes next to Edmonds in 3. Steen in 4. Zook in 5 for the USA. Grigorev in 6 for Russia. Blumipu in 7 for Estonia, and they're away, and a very fast start. Very fast start indeed. Nathan Steen of Canada storming away here. 24.26. His entry time, the world record, 23.44 from Andre Brazil. All the way, Nathan Steen. Watch the clock, it's very, very fast, 23.89. A lifetime personal best and only just outside the Paralympic record and not too shy of the world record as well. That guy's pumped. What a performance, Nathan Stein this morning at 10.17. It's early doors. 10:17 a.m. What will he do tonight when the body's fully fired up later on in the day? Dramatic swimming, heat number 1. Smashed his lifetime best from 24.26. Grigorev in 2nd and Zook in 3rd. Edmonds down in 4th, 25.28. And that, I think, is a season's best by 0.08 of a second for Graham Edmonds of Great Britain. So he swam well, but here's heat number 2. That's woken everybody up this morning for this men's 50 metres freestyle S10. Drama already from heat number 1. Sultan goes in lane 1. Izadyar goes in lane 2. Anderson in 3. Rodriguez goes in 4. Lin in 5. Silverman in 6. Pendleton in 7. Rodriguez away well. He's entered 24.24. Rodriguez from Brazil. And he really is storming. Great power. Silverman going very well in 6 though. But in 4, Rodriguez. Anderson 1 lane up in 3. Can't do anything about that. It's Rodriguez storming from start to finish. They're going very well in 6. He's Silverman, but 24.12. That's also very quick. 24.24 is entry time, so I was pleased with that. Philippe Andrews, Melo Rodriguez. Great demonstration of power and speed from start to finish. Great reaction off the blocks. surfaced very powerfully into his stroke, head down for much of the whole 50 metres. I think only took 2 breaths there. Rodriguez, the winner of heat number 2. So what will the world record holder make of that from heat 1 and 2? Andre Brazil, representing Brazil, goes in 4. Kufal goes in 1. Isiev goes in 2. Levesque in 3. Brazil in 4. Pasterfield in 5. That's Andre Brazil there. Kevin Paul will go in lane 6. That's Kevin Paul right there with the green hat from South Africa. Anderson nearest to us, representing Denmark, goes in lane number 7. Well, dramatic underwater. Just look at that man breaking out there. Almost half a body length clear of the rest of the field, Andre Brazil. 2/3 of the body length clear of the field. Great power in his stroke length. Not taking a breath yet. Oh, there's a quick breath, some 8 metres clear, but let's watch the clock. He's entered 23.52, 23.50. A new Paralympic record, just outside the world record. Absolutely fantastic. A season's best by 200ths of a second to set a new Paralympic record, just shy of his own world record by 6/100ths. Great technique, great power, wonderful dive entry into the water there, just slipping his feet through, following that body line. Only took the 1 breath, it seemed like 8 metres away from the finish, to post a very, very, very fast 23.50 ahead of Pasterfield and Levesque. That was the 1, 2, 3 there. So this is now shaping up to be a very, very, very quick final this evening. And there is the complete lineup of 1 to 8. Brazil, Steen and Rodriguez go the 1, 2, 3, but not much separating these 8 giants, these great sprinters in the S10 category. So let's see what the women will do now in the same event. The 50 metres freestyle S10. 5 swimmers go in heat number 1. GB representation in the name of Harriet Lee. Mortimer, the world record holder from Canada, and Sloan, also from Canada, the Paralympic record holder.